mute
All right,
mine.
cool. Well, yeah, I
Holy
muted mine too. All right, so look, we are live for the committee reveal. Had a little family emergency, so I was taking care of that. So we didn't get the top 20, like the bottom of the top 10. But anyway, LSU is number 10 at 6-2. Not sure what's going on with that. Not sure how I feel about that. Uh,
I'm
Number 9
how
is USC. I have my TV on mute right now, so I'm not sure what the explanation will be. I need to put closed caption on it because with this committee stuff, man, I think people have their top tens and top 25s and they want it to be a certain way. But honestly, what I've come to understand is the committee establishes their preferences for what constitutes as like the top priority for ranking. Uh, and I can tell you right now, 2 top 10 pack 12 teams is a no-go for me.
oh
But
my
with the way this is looking, TCU might be number 5. Honestly.
I mean they should be personally I would put them at 4
Well,
because
TCU's number 7. There you go. Well,
that's
bro, if they have Bama in their top 4 still,
throw the whole committee away. Throw the
I'm gonna
whole
have some
committee.
issues.
We need to go back to the BCS.
But this happens every time. Like every time there's always some shenanigans. I know, right? Freaking Texas is in the top 25. Oklahoma State is like in the top 20. Like how? Yeah, TCU at number 7, top 6.
Didn't LSU get the doors beat off of them too by Tennessee? And vice versa with Ole Miss. How are they still this high?
I think I thought hold on. We got somebody coming in here. This cat. Clemson representative right here. Y'all some bums. They're gonna have Clemson at number 6 probably.
No, they're gonna be number 4. Watch.
What you think about the ranking so far, Jamal?
I ain't even got to pull it up, honestly.
Oh, all right. If you guys hear anything in the background, it's Tristan. It's dinner time, so he gonna be live.
Why you look like you in a hotel? You look like you got back from the hotel pool.
But I'm trying to figure out what they're saying, but with the top 6, so Georgia's obviously gonna be in the top 4. Tennessee's obviously gonna be in the top 4.
Ohio State's
obviously gonna be in the top 4. So we again get to this weird position where it's like, how are they gonna position so Bama can just win out and get in? Because it happens every year.
I think they still have to put them 6, because
I don't think they're gonna be 6. I'll be surprised if they're 6.
They should be 7.
They are 6. Yep. Bama.
Yeah, it makes sense because they're the only one with a loss here.
It makes sense, but I just feel like they always find a way.
Then Clemson's gonna be 5th. Watch.
Let's see who's number 5.
I'm okay with that, honestly.
You said what?
I'm okay with being 5. I ain't worried about it.
No, because all the top 4 got to play each other.
Exactly. Went out and we're done. We handle our business. We're good to go.
Yep. Bama's at number 6.
Although the ACC title game is looking more and more interesting.
Not really.
Yeah, UNC can score. They just don't have defense. That's going to be fun.
UNC ain't no real threat for real, man.
UNC don't play nobody with defense. Who they play with defense?
What I'm trying to figure out is why they delaying this number 5 so long, man. Just reveal it.
Y'all already know what y'all was talking about.
You don't have to do a lot of analysis. Oh, number 5 is Michigan.
Oh, number 4.
I mean, that makes sense. I forgot all about the girl.
Well, I guess, strength of schedule if they're doing that, because...
No, their strength of schedule's got to be weak as hell.
Who, Maryland? I mean, Michigan's?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I would make sense to take Clemson over them.
They've got Penn State on there. That's a pretty big win against Penn State.
I mean, but so was Syracuse was a ranked win at the time for Clemson.
Yeah, but I don't think.
And Wake Forest, they also beat Wake.
But I was saying in the past,
so they beat 3 ranked teams. So.
My understanding is that if if you played them when they were ranked, but they're no longer ranked towards the end of the season, then you kind of get deducted points.
Which
But all three still ranked though.
All right. Yeah, Q's was top 25. Was Wake Forest in the top 25? I don't remember.
yeah, they both
seeing-
are.
Yeah,
They both
Okay,
were.
all right, cool.
And NC State.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still
Clemson's
22nd
number
and
4.
23rd right now.
Clemson's number 4, which means we just gotta figure out who the top 3 is. And
Tennessee
Who,
gonna be number 1. Watch.
Yeah. Well,
Tennessee, I guess they should be number 1 if they beat Bama.
Well, they beat
Not
also
only
5
that,
ranked
though,
teams.
And they beat some
At
other-
LSU.
Yeah.
Dismantled LSU. Dismantled Kentucky. Beat Bama. Beat Florida. Who else? They beat one other ranked team.
Let's see. At the number 3 spot, as they wait 30 million minutes.
Like there ain't but so many teams it could be.
I know,
Oh,
bro.
they beat Pitt when they were ranked too. At Pitt.
You would want that. Wow, Georgia's number 3. Didn't see that coming.
Huh.
Georgia's number 3.
I was surprised. I thought they'd want to give us a 1 and 2 for this weekend.
And then I guess we gotta figure if I feel like Ohio State's gonna be number 2 and Tennessee's number 1.
No, watch Tennessee be number 2 and Ohio State.
Yo,
number 1.
if you're Tennessee and you're hypo, you need to screenshot this and put it as your picture and just save this moment because it might never come again.
It's not. It's not.
We got our bougie rep. Oh, Ohio State's number 2, so Tennessee is number 1.
Okay. Wow, this happened for the first time ever?
Yeah, Marcus ain't even trying to
He's got pink eye. That's why he can't be on camera.
So let me put that up on the banner real quick. Good old volunteers, man. You know, Patrick, since you're on, can we hold on, Marcus? We got Patrick on. Let's ask him that question again, man. Wasn't you saying Napier was the better coach?
Yep. I still saying it for year 1. Come on.
What?
It's year 1. This is Hypo's year 2.
What?
Year 1. Let him get
year
his
1 or
people.
year 2. Stop that. We said at the beginning of the year. I said this at the beginning of the year. You laughed. You said Tennessee. I said, listen, Josh Heupel is a better coach than Billy Napier. I know we don't want to admit it, but he is a way better. The veer and shoot is a better system. I get what you're saying, year 2 versus year 1. I don't think Billy Napier is Josh Heupel. I ain't even trying to be funny. Kyle on Florida, I think y'all made a really bad hire, and you're going to pay for it. And you're going to see yourself slip to the 4th or 5th or 6th best team in the SEC. You're going to see a Georgia and Tennessee in the East, Bama, LSU, Ole Miss in the West. I think that's how reality is going to play out. I don't know what can Billy Napier do between now and next year. You're going to lose Anthony Richardson. I don't see how
don't
it's
think
become
he's going.
better for you in 2 years. Man, he's out.
I don't think he's
gone. That dude's going to be as bad as he is. He probably going to be a top 3 round pick. Do I take top 3 round pick money or stay here and develop with Billy Napier? I'm gonna at least
Fair.
try my options in the NFL. I mean, I know that's how I personally think. I mean, as of right now, college football is an arms race. It's not like this, it's not like the NFL. It's not built in parity. You got if somebody else gets a nuclear weapon, you got to get a nuclear weapon.
You got to get
Tennessee,
2.
UGA are recruiting at a way higher standard than Florida. They're doing well.
No, actually, they're
good.
not. Tennessee is not.
Oh,
Tennessee actually has.
not like this year, but you don't
Yeah,
have
long
anybody
term.
entering your quarterback like Nick Imalavalay. I can't pronounce his name, but like me, I like all the teams. What is the number one factor to all the teams that are in the top 4?
I mean, you do need a quarterback.
Elite quarterback play. All that other defense, like Georgia was an anomaly last year, right? They had a once in a generation defense at every level. Secondary, corner, defensive line, linebacker. Now I think they returned to reality a little bit more this year, but you're still a really good team. But the way it's setting up for the next 2 to 3 years, Heupel and Kirby going to be running circles around Billy Napier. Now we don't know. You're right. We don't know. And if I'm a Florida fan, I get it. You're betting on the unknown and saying, "Hey man, I don't know that." But Florida, as my grandmother would say, is in a world of hurt.
I'll say this: from where Florida was left under Dan Mullen, because he did, as we all made the jokes, Dan Mullen didn't do
Y'all
jack
need to stop
recruit.
that. Dan Mullen did not ruin the University of Florida. Dan Mullen
He
may
didn't.
not have been the recruiter that Urban Meyer is, but I can tell you already he's a better game day coach than Billy Napier. I get it. Dan Mullen just wasn't a good fit. And what you're about to see is Dan Mullen. If Chip Kelly leaves to go to Auburn, you're gonna see Dan Mullen at UCLA, and you're gonna see him have pieces around him to fit in the recruiter. I don't know why Florida fans. Now I get it. His culture, who he is as a coach, maybe ruined UF, but him as a recruiter, he ain't leave the cupboard bare for Billy Napier. I don't know where this narrative come from. Like, how we doing it? We going by a narrative, or we going by actual? If you look at what 27 Sports Composite says, Florida should be a top 15 to 18 team in college football based on the talent you got. So, what is this narrative of Dan Mullen ruined the University of Florida? No, I think you got yourself into a path of mediocrity, and now you're kind of stuck with it.
It's not so much the talent, but it's also like the culture, like the mindset of a lot of the players. You kind of got to weed the soft out of them. That article that said Florida kind of soft, they weren't wrong. A lot of the players that are there still kind of soft. The ones that are playing the best ones are the new ones.
Good though.
So here's my issue. Here's my issue.
No, I
Other than
called in
my son
actually
being
been to
live
talk
and
about the Buckeyes, but
Yeah.
He's still mad about 06.
No. I was gonna say Georgia at number 3 is just surprising to me. Usually when a team, especially a returning national or like a defending national champion team, if they go undefeated, they're usually top 2.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
kinda
Clemson in 2019, that's a lie.
You said what?
Clemson in 2019, that's a lie.
Y'all deserve that in 2019 though.
I don't think Georgia. I think it could have been a toss-up between UGA or Ohio State at 2 to 3. But as I said in the chat earlier, why are we expecting the committee to do something other than what they've already done? Like, they love offense, they love quarterbacks, they love brands. It is now they're setting themselves up for success because if you go 1 through 5, 1 and 3 got to play each other, 2 and 5 got to play each other. I think Michigan
6
against Illinois is a trap game, but we could talk about that another time.
So 6 versus 1 and 3 have to play each other, either 1 or 3.
Yeah. And exactly what I said about TCU. A 1-loss Big Ten or SEC team is better than an undefeated TCU. I don't know why we keep trying to convince ourselves that all of a sudden the committee cares about the little guys. No, they don't.
Yeah, they never
all
have.
they want to do is you know what I much rather have? I'd much rather have a 1-loss Michigan. If Ohio State lose to Michigan, I still think there's a chance Ohio State gets in because now you're at 2. Bama may lose again. It's easy to say, man, you got Ohio State, Michigan. They play each other. The loser of that is still better than an undefeated TCU.
Yeah, and so Sam just
y'all
asked,
didn't play anybody. Y'all had one ranked win.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Clemson
Sam just
having
asked,
3.
are we really putting Clemson in the top 4 over Michigan? Michigan, like if you're really into strength of schedule, Michigan's strength of schedule has been kind of
It's been
the
one
Penn State
game
win
against Penn State.
is good, but I hate to say it, Clemson has more quality ranked opponents right now. I mean, it's just one of those things if you're watching, huh?
You guys don't feel like me. I feel like strength of schedule is a bunch of rubbish. I feel like
No,
that's a
I
college
do
football
too,
talking
for a
point
little
because
bit.
I'm like
Yeah.
the best teams. So it I get it. Like, I got to be a little bit more realistic and not objective. It's like, okay, so by going by this metric, the teams with the toughest schedules should be best suited to win championships. I don't think that. I think the best teams with the best players win championships. Those best teams just happen to be Alabama and UGA because, I just think the conference is talented to the SEC. But I think from an eyeball test, Clemson, Michigan is a toss-up. I mean, just like Ohio State, UGA, I think it's a coin flip. Whoever's on the committee probably felt like, okay, you know what we've seen, and we know what Dabo provides. We know that he's a national championship winning coach, regardless of Michigan beating Ohio State last year. I think it's still something. Well, let's see. If they beat Ohio State this year, then they obviously will be in chance to be in the top four. But I mean, I just say the committee gonna do what the committee always does, man. And it's, as an Ohio State fan, I love it. But
Yeah, because y'all always in
I
a
just came here to
position.
shit on y'all for like 20 seconds since it's my first call of the year, and bounce.
Yeah, I know. Of course, typical Buckeye, bougie, snobby. I'm secretly rooting against y'all, just not until the playoffs, which is what I usually do every year. I will take Ohio State snobbiness over Michigan happiness any day. Overall, I'm not upset with it. Like I said, I typically go into these things looking to hear what the committee is going to prioritize or what they felt stood out to them about certain teams. In TCU's case, I mean, they got to beat Cincinnati. They got to win out and hope that chaos reigns in the top six, and then have the public basically make a case for them to be in there. Because conference-wise, the Big 12 just ain't what it used to be. I mean, they're basically the ACC this year. I mean, I saw 2 Pac-12 teams in the top 10. I don't think I would have ever predicted that at the beginning of the season.
Big 10, baby.
Yeah, so Ohio State, Michigan obviously puts a premium on their game later this year. Michigan still has Illinois, correct?
Yes, that's
They got
the second to last game.
Before Ohio State.
Yeah,
The week before
yeah,
Ohio
so,
State. We got
ooh,
Maryland. They got
man.
Illinois. That's why I said
That's
that's
a tough spot.
Wait, let's see if that is in Illinois or where is that?
Dalton said Michigan over TCU is BS. Dalton, update your roster.
Oh, it's at home.
Michigan should be in over
Oh, it's in
TCU.
the
They
big
should be
house,
ranked
or-
higher. in my opinion. So that's a tough game. Bama's got
Dalton's holding back tears.
Tennessee.
Will they put
Tennessee-
56
do
on
this.
us?
I saw that, but I'm like, okay, Michigan versus TCU, neutral field. I think Michigan beat TCU by 10 points.
I don't know about.
I think
that.
I think Michigan overpowers TCU.
That's
think
what
they
I
win,
think.
too.
I think at some
Yeah.
point that McCarthy, Coral.
Yeah, if I got
they
McCarthy,
beat TCU.
I don't want McNamara. But if I got McCarthy, yeah.
McCarthy makes enough plays. Like right now, he's not like I get it. Like playing through quarterbacks, it's tough, but he's not making the plays that he should make. But he makes a lot of off schedule. I hate this as the NFL term now, off platform plays that everybody loves to see now. And I think he does add something that.
Yeah.
You know, Jim, this offense look a lot like the 49ers offense when Jim was
I'd rather not talk about that, please.
Like, you got power run game with a mobile QB,
athletic
and
quarterback.
I think they better.
Yeah. Who even if he doesn't throw it on time, he's got the arm strength and the playmaking ability to still make it work. Dude, they just beat Ohio State last year, so I mean, what do you want? What do you want? They're not kiddie table. I will openly say I feel like Michigan has earned their place in the top 5, based off of how they ended last year and how they carried that into this year. Like I don't have any issues with them being top 5. And if they go on and they went out and actually beat Ohio State again, then they 100% deserve to be in the top 4. And it's not a knock if you're a Michigan and you can't beat a Bama or Georgia, because the program isn't on that level yet, but this is what you want to see, them knocking on the door and making those strides, making that progress, challenging Ohio State, challenging the narrative that there's just only one team in the Big Ten. So I mean, I don't think there's anybody in the Big 12 that has any case that they should be ranked higher than any other top 6 teams. I don't care if TCU is undefeated. The top 6 teams are better than them.
Who's the second ranked Big 12 team?
the
would
second
be
ranked Big
Kansas
12
State.
team.
Behind TCU,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who's the second highest ranked team behind TCU?
Kansas
Probably.
State.
Yeah, Kansas State now, I think.
Can't say that
Yeah, it is
12.
Kansas. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kansas State beat the hell out of everybody else.
It's so hot.
Yeah, they did. They beat. I don't know how Oklahoma State stayed like in the top 20 with that one.
Yeah. And you just gotta give it time, Sam. Like when Michigan literally, like you beat the people that you're supposed to beat, and then when you get to Ohio State, that's when you ultimately get judged.
Wait,
and
should
and
Dalton and Oklahoma be talking about kiddie table?
yeah, I know.
Didn't they get blanked twice
But
this
that's not
year?
Ohio State. Ohio State.
Didn't they get nuked by
is-
Texas?
Yeah, because Ohio State is what they whip up on everybody. They look forward to the Michigan game to establish their dominance, and that's their season. But along the way, they're working on things, trying to get better. But that's the statement game that always propels them into the playoffs. And so it is what it is there. But I mean, I just think sometimes fans just forget that there's levels to this. Yes, TCU is cool. Like I like Cincinnati. I made an argument for them, but I like little guys. But yeah, TCU's just not there yet. Like you put TCU against Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan, Bama. I don't think they beat any of them. I really don't. So
Actually, they didn't match up style well with Tennessee. Because of the three, Tennessee has the worst defense.
yeah, but
Tennessee
mean,
also gonna put 65 up. On
yeah, that's what I was
They're
gonna
not
say.
be able to
You ain't
And
gonna beat them in a
TCU
track
won't?
meet. You ain't gonna beat no.
No.
TCU was not beating Tennessee in no shootout.
But you say like Tennessee, I mean TCU won't put up 50
I'm
on
not
you
worried.
as well.
This isn't
I
a
don't-
question of covering the spread. This is a question of winning the game. They ain't
winning
winning.
the game, right?
Yeah, they not
They're
winning.
not winning the game.
Whether it's by 1 or whether it's by 21, you are not. There's not a team on this list that's going to outscore Tennessee. It just ain't gonna happen. I don't know how much more evidence you need to see it at.
Yeah, if Bama can't do it, no one else can.
And yes, I think TCU loses to Clemson simply because of the trench work. They lose at the line of
Yeah, I
scrimmage.
think
Yeah,
all of
Clemson's
those
defensive
teams
line is-
outstretched TCU.
Yeah. And the teams that have beat Sonny Dykes type teams have always been dominant up front. Like it disrupts everything that he wants to do offensively, and that's why I think Clemson would beat them. So
I rock with Duggan though. I mean, I like him. I like what Sonny
Yeah,
Dykes is
I
doing.
love
I
it.
think that long term they're gonna be good. But I mean, are they one of the 4 best teams in college football, and they worthy of a college football playoff berth?
Mhm.
I'm not sure of that. I mean, I do think they're exciting. I think they're fun to watch, and I do think they probably have some gripes about where they're ranked now. But the beauty of it is, if they went out, none of this may not matter. So that's why, like, I think I heard Ryan Day say today, like, he's not watching it. He don't care because all of this means nothing if you don't win out, right? Like, if Ohio State
Yeah.
loses
Yeah.
to Michigan or Maryland, it don't really matter.
Mhm.
Michigan lose to Illinois or Ohio State, it don't really matter. But I think for TCU, for the smaller schools, where you start off really matters because
yeah,
I was like, all right, if the committee puts TCU at 5th or 6th, they feel they got a shot to get in the playoff. At 7th,
Mhm.
I think even so, how many teams could possibly you could have? I hate to go through this probability case, but essentially, out
Bama
of
can
the
lose
6
twice.
teams, Bama can lose twice. Ohio State essentially could lose once or maybe twice, depending on how you look at it. Michigan could lose twice. They need a lot. Like I think it was Allen that said, "Look, they need some chaos to happen in front
Yeah.
of them to get in." And even with chaos, I still don't think they get in.
yeah. And I mean, again, that's just how it is. That's
And-
the nature of the beast. Tennessee
I will-
earned their spot.
They did.
So
I will say this: TCU, to their credit, they can only beat who's in front of them, and they've hurdled, they've jumped every hurdle that they've been given. And if they go out here 13-0, win the Big 12, win a Power 5 conference, regardless, they kind of they've earned their spot to be at least in the discussion for the 4th spot.
Have they though?
yeah.
I mean, because the committee, what did I say in the chat earlier? Everybody said TCU. I was like, maybe that it can happen. But based on since the college football playoff has started until now, the committee views playing in the Big Ten in the Southeastern Conference at one loss means more than playing in the Big 12 or the Pac-12 and being undefeated.
Yeah.
I don't like it, and I guess people can say, well, that makes no sense. I agree in a sense, but at the same time, this is what the committee wanted. And that's why I'm like, TCU, you got to fight a couple battles. You got to fight this perception. You got to kind of have like the fan vote. One thing Cincinnati had going for it was people kind of knew Cincinnati. Like, they know Luke Fickell. Like, you see them on TV. They had Sauce Gardner. Like, they just had names, and they were just the public got behind Cincinnati. I don't really feel that people are really rallying towards, like, I mean, and it's still early as well, but I think everybody, Herb Street, everybody on the panel, people I've been seeing online is like, oh, yeah, that's about right. TCU, who cares? Like, they're not going to be in it anyway. I think that's the general, like, fan consensus of it is like, well, TCU going to be 13-0 and going to be at, well, it won't be the Alamo Bowl, but I'm sure they're going to get whatever the number one New Year's Six is outside of the playoffs. So maybe it's the Rose. I mean, I could see TCU being undefeated going to the Rose Bowl or going to the Orange because what the playoff is going to be the Peach and the Fiesta.
It's Peach and Cotton. Is it Fiesta?
No, Fiesta. Yeah, Fiesta. Because I was looking at it because what I want is for Ohio State to come to Atlanta, so I don't have to fly all the way to fucking Glendale, Arizona to go to a playoff.
Yo, see, I hate you, bro. You're so selfish. I knew there was some angle. I knew there was some angle. I was like, where he going with this? He's like, I don't want to do the travel for real.
I would much rather us. I would be cool with Ohio State, Tennessee in Atlanta, Peach Bowl. I'd be there. I'd be cool with that. I don't really care about the number one seed.
He's like, I want to go to the game, pink eye afterwards, and go home.
Sure.
Dalton said, if Georgia dog walks Tennessee, where they going to sit without what's a CCG? What is that?
Conference championship game?
Oh, there you go. All right. I was about to say, man. I don't know,
man, that's tough. I think if let's say Tennessee loses by 2 to 3 scores, I think Tennessee probably falls from 1 to like what 5, 6. 1 to 6 is a substantial drop. I don't see them dropping past 7. Unless they just, man, they would have to lose by at least. I mean, they would have to look outclassed. You know, like you cut on the game, you're like, damn, it's first quarter and it's already 28-0 or something like that. I just think even if they don't go to the conference championship game, I think there's still a path for them to get in because if Georgia beats them and then beats Bama, Bama got 2 losses, they automatically cancel themselves out. So at that point as well, you got Tennessee versus what other teams would possibly not go to a conference championship game? Let's say Michigan wins. Would you have a 1-loss Tennessee, 1-loss Ohio State? Or vice versa? Would you have a 1-loss Michigan, 1-loss Tennessee?
Well, it depends. How is the loss to Michigan? Like, is it like off a field goal at the end type thing? Like, what do we?
If Ohio State lose to Michigan in Columbus, Ryan Day gonna be dead, and he ain't got to worry about going to the college football playoffs, so it won't even really matter. But
he said, "Get the lynching mob."
He's gonna. I mean, they're not gonna. He's not gonna escape. So, but no, I think if Michigan loses, I think Tennessee still got a chance to get in. They love because at that point, what you gonna do? You got Ohio State. Let's say you got Ohio State, UGA, and you got Clemson. So you're gonna have what? Tennessee, TCU, USC. None of those teams, they're not even in the running, to be honest. So it's like,
well, they have to still play Oregon again. That's gonna cancel that out, and they also got to play UCLA. So are they getting through both? No.
SC might get through. Yeah, they'll split that. I think they'll probably split the UCLA, Oregon, but I mean, I don't know. It's a couple interesting games left. I think we got 3 weeks before Thanksgiving. I think at least we'll know a lot more in the next 3 weeks because we on cruise control to the Michigan game.
Yeah.
And I think they.
Dalton's so sad in the chat.
Yeah, I'm about to kill this. Dalton out here just starting nonsense.
Marcus.
USC ain't shit, right? Come on,
Marcus.
man.
Marcus, he out here listening to Marvin's Room in the chat.
Yeah, he
They
real
still
he
mad
real
over
bitter right now.
He
real
listens to
bitter.
Marvin's Room in the chat.
So look, we'll be back for the college show to kind of decipher scenarios basically based on this ranking, what could happen if so and so lose, if so and so wins. And then I'll do some research on what the committee says they're prioritizing. But in the meantime, let's hope that Ohio State has the longest possible travel that they could have. Stick them all the way. Stick them in Germany like they did randomly with the Buccaneers game. Just send them to another country.
the fucking Ukraine. Let them play in front of Putin there.
Right? But we'll be,
What
hey,
night y'all
thanks for
guys
calling
doing
in.
the, When are
Go
y'all
ahead.
doing the college show? I'm gonna
Pop up. My priorities are clear now. I'm all about college football. I'm gonna start popping up more regularly now since we're in the nitty gritty.
We should be back Thursday around like 8:00.
Our
Nobody
regularly
watches Thursday
scheduled
night.
program.
Yeah, nobody watches Thursday night football anymore. It's been awful.
Yeah.
right.
Do you want to watch Amazon Prime's version of Russ saying "Let's ride"?
So if you're looking at this podcast right now, get on ESPN, go watch you some action, people. Because that has started. We got games tomorrow too. I'm about to catch it as well. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Marcus.
All right,
We'll
man.
catch y'all
I
next.
appreciate y'all. See y'all
We'll
next
catch
time.
y'all Thursday. All right.
All right.
All right.